Om Vang me manasi pratishthitam mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirma edhi vedasyama ani stha shrutam me ma prahasi anena dhitena horatran samdadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavatu tadvaktaram avatu mam avatu vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So this is number 5 hymn from the 5th mandala, Aprisuktam. Susamidhaya shochishe gharitam tivram juhotana agnaye jata vedase narasham saksu shrudatim imam yajñam adabhiyah kavirhi madhuhastya Ilita agna avaha indram chitram iha priyam sukhai rathebih utaye urnam rada viprathasva abhi arka anushata bhavanah shubhrasataye devirdvaro vishrayadvam suprayana na utaye pra yajñam pranitana. This is what we read. And now we are moving into number 6. Suprati kevayo vridha yahvi ritasyamatara dosham ushasam imahe. Did we read all of these? Yeah, I guess we did. It all sounds strange, yeah? We can read it again and again, I guess. So we went through the first 5, as I remember. So I will recapture very fast to come to number 6. To the will that knows all the births, to the flame highly kindled, purely luminous, offer a poignant clarity. Purely luminous, offer a poignant clarity. So this is the invocation to offer the poignant clarity, powerful knowledge, consciousness with power to the flame which is to be fed, because this flame of the divine will transforms our nature. Narasham sakso shudati imam yajñamadabhiyah kavirhi madhuhastyah. This is he that expresses the powers of the gods, the untamable, who speeds on its way this our sacrifice, this our transformation. This is the seer who comes with the wine of sweetness in his hands. And this wine of sweetness is the intoxication with delight. Every time we transform part of ourselves, we receive this portion of delight. Every time we overcome our weakness, we feel like we are growing somewhere. Ilita agna avaha indram chitram iha priyam sukhairathe bhihutaye. O strength, we have sought thee with our adoration, Ilita agne. Bring hither the God mind. Vaha indram, bright and dear in his happy chariots, chitram iha priyam. Sokhairrathe bihutaye, with his in his happy chariots for our increasing ultaye. Indra is important because Indra is that lightning or that action of the higher intuitive mind which brings the light of knowledge and power and illumines the whole setting of our connections, our comprehensive relations which we established, and we hold on to them as if they were totally real or something. And when Indra comes, he brings the light, and that light illumines, and we see how wrongly we connected things. We see that all that we considered to be true is actually a fake kind of imitation of the truth. And that refreshes the whole vision. So the Agni, the invocation in us, that flame within the heart, has to invoke the response from above of that knowledge which has to come and illumine and show us how things are in reality. This is the major issue of the whole Rig Veda, why Agni is first and so important, because without this aspiration to know the truth, to be the truth, nothing can be done. So with that aspiration, with that fire, into that fire we offer everything, what we want to change, to become, to know, to find the truth about. We offer to this divine will as aspiration, and then we receive the answer. And the answer comes to this call from below, answer from above, comes, and that grace from above is like lightning, like aha moment, where everything becomes clear and we are again on the right path. So it's ongoing process of invoking and receiving the answer. Urnam radavi prathasva abhi arka anushata bhava nach shubharasataye, widely spread thyself, softly, thickly covering, towards thee lighten the voices of our illumination. Be white and bright in us, that we may conquer. This is something interesting, because when the lightning comes down as an intuition, it acts as if in one moment of time. And in that moment, as Aurobindo says somewhere in Savitri, one loosened corner lighting up the space. You can see the whole space in this moment of lightning. But it has to also pervade and settle down softly into all our connections, all our relations. It should not just show us what was wrong and disappear. It has to kind of settle down. And this is something interesting, that after that bring the light, the God light, the divine mind, the mind of higher light of the higher mind, you Urnamrada, widely spread thyself, softly, not burningly, kind of spread, thickly covering, towards thee lighten the voices of our illuminations, Arka, these flames in our words, these flaming words of aspiration towards thee, they are kind of joining you in that illumination. So there will be this merging of our call with the answer which comes, and it builds up the tapestry of all possible new relations. Urna Mrada, this widely spread softly. Urna is like a wool, woolen spreading, and Mrada, soft wool as if Vipradhasva spread. Abhyarkanushata, the lighting of the voices or the words of illumination, or the flaming words of aspiration, let us say it that way, towards thee, seeking thee, wanting to join thee, your light. They all want to come into that higher, pure light which descends from above as answer, as the grace. This is a constant topic in the Rig Veda. You can find it in other symbolic presentations of the dawn and the Agni. When Agni is calling, the dawn is answering. So the dawn is arriving. Usha. And Usha is considered to be his mother, actually. And then she changes her status, and he changes his status. He grows with her and spreads with her. So she gives him a scope where he, the fire, the flame, the aspiration, can enter into more and more relations. So this is the interaction of the call and answer. And when they merge, when they come together, the sacrifice is fulfilled. So one is supporting the other. The grace is supporting our call. And our prayer becomes the very act of that grace. So we think that we are calling and we are invoking the grace. But then we realize that actually it's grace calling itself through us. This is the spiritual realization which is described in this beautiful kind of symbolic language. Be white and bright in us that we may conquer. And number 5, Divih dvaro vishrayadvam suprayana na utaye praprayajñam pranitana. Swing open, O ye door divine. Doors divine, these are portals, the streams, the currents from above, which actually Indra initiates with his lightning. He breaks the ceiling, which we are kind of clogged or blocked. We have the ceiling above, which has to be broken. By the way, it's very similar to the occultism. In the occultism, they have the Arcanum 19, which is called the breaking, the axe which is breaking our ceiling for the light to receive. And the Arcanum 20 is the head receiving the light. Finally, we are without the ceiling. The light can come from above straight. So here the similar idea of these portals. Portals have to be open. The divine portals, doors divine, swing open and give us easy passage to our expanding. Father, Father, lead and fill full our sacrifice. They will be filling our transformation with new, fresh, divine powers and light. So here we stopped, I remember. Yes, we did with these streams. And now, Supratike vayovridha yahvi ritasya matara dosha mushasam imahe. Supratike, so beautiful, with perfect fronts, as it were. Darkness and dawn. They are two mothers of the truth, fairly fronting us, supratike, increases of our spacious being. Vayovradha. They are increasing vayas. Vayas is an interesting word from root V to weave. The word weaving is actually from the same etymology. So it's kind of, they are increasing our tapestry, as it were, our interaction, the presence of the consciousness within the world. And that vayas is interpreted in two ways. One is that tapestry can be seen as the time factor, and from another point of view as the, so there's the age. Age is actually that tapestry in time, or as the space. In time and space can be interpreted as a tapestry in terms of space or time, the lifetime. Our age, increases of our age, Yahweh full of young energy, Ratasya Matara, the two mothers of the dynamic truth, because this alternation between darkness and light creates the dynamism of the truth by which everything is being manifested here in the world. And then we come to Vatasya Patman. Vatasya Patman Ilita Daivya Hotara Manushach Imam no Yajnam Agatam. And O ye divine priests, there are two divine priests, which is interesting because there are two, heaven and earth, or also, what do you call it, the dawn and the night, and there are two hemispheres, the hemisphere of light, transcendental, and the hemisphere lower, in which we are manifested, and we are manifested in the hemisphere of night. Night is our, place where we as sparks of light are manifested. So these two hemispheres have two different hotars, two different priests. One priest is calling from the darkness side, and other priest is somewhere in the light, in the sun. One is in the fire. Fire is the immortal among mortals, the one who dwells in the darkness, but the divine. And the other is the sun, which is in heaven. And so these two great priests of this world sacrifice, yes, they are mentioned here. O ye divine priests of our humanity, Manushach, of our mind, of our mental framework, as it were. Because Manu is our forefather, or our creator of mankind. Man, mind, these are the same etymology, manas, manushya, and so on. So of our humanity, that's how Aurobindo translates this, of our formation of consciousness in the mind, or worshipped twine, not twine in this, twins, approach on the paths of the life breath to this our sacrifice. On the paths of life breath, Vatasya Patman, on the fly of the Vata. Vata is interesting word, it's Vayu, Vata, and V root are connected. V is that interweaving, blowing, flowing, bringing spiritual energy into manifestation, is actually breath. Breath is that living energy which makes everything alive here. Yeah. You can see this image of breath everywhere. And when God created Adam, he put his breath into him. Yeah? That breath made Adam alive. Otherwise, he would be just a clay. So that clay has to be enlivened and made alive. So that is on the fly of this spiritual energy which makes everything alive. You too, great priests, divine priests of our formation of human beings, approach our transformation. So that it is believed that transformation is taking place exactly in between heaven and earth, between our call and answer. It is when they meet together, the call and answer, that the change is taking place. You see, it's so structured and so logical anyway that you can't even believe. I can't believe every time I come to these verses, I can't believe that it is so clear. Yeah, it's not irrational. It's very rational in a way, but rational in the spiritual sense, yeah? Not in the physical sense. Somehow we recognize the truth. It's interesting what is in us which actually recognizes this, that it is true. Yes, it must be so, because we live this all the time. Only we don't speak this language. We don't pay attention to those formations and elements in us. We don't name them. We do not use language to name these processes, these psychological events which are taking place all the time, every second in our life. We just focused on something else, you know, on living outside, cooking and making money, and making kind of life, living, you know, with others. But if we start analyzing what is really going on, we will see this. We're constantly growing in consciousness and wanting to grow. We can't avoid it. The moment we stop doing it, we fall dead. So we want to live. And to live means this on the path of the Vata, on the path of living force. These two elements come together and make our life possible. So I have this interpretation here, the two divine hotars on the path of the wind are explained by Sayana as Agni and Surya, these two divine elements, as they may be connected with heaven and earth, day and night, as their locations. The path of the wind, Vata Vayu, connects them from earth to heaven and from heaven to earth. It is like a double turbulence. I think I have a déjà vu feeling that we spoke about this already. These three are to be united into one fulfillment of the sacrifice. So the sacrifice is fulfilled once these three fires come together, Agni, Vayu, and Surya. They become one energy consciousness. So there is no more division on heaven and earth, on spirit and matter. This is the fulfillment. We want to be one being, the divine being.
So, can I ask some basic questions just to make sure that I understand?
Sure, please go ahead. It would be lovely if you could speak also. Otherwise, I'm kind of carried away with my things.
I actually just love because I love just listening. But so I just want to make sure that have the right basic understanding of the sacrifice. So whenever the sacrifice is spoken of, it's our sacrifice, which is our calling.
You know,
Okay. And so the Agni is the spark of the divine which animates us, gives us life.
A spark, yes, that spark of Agni. Agni is our kind of father of our sparks, our souls, as it were. It's this calling within nature, which we all embody as human beings or souls in a way. So this Agni is not only within our heart, which is true, the flame within the heart is Agni, but it is also in all nature, everywhere. The whole nature is moving and seeking this higher realization. And sacrifice is a constant change, yes, which is taking place, evolution of consciousness, as it were. Yeah? So the constant mutation and transformation of nature, which is taking place in accordance with this need of embodying higher consciousness or higher capacity, constant development. Why development at all should take place? Why that was arranged in such a way that we are constantly moving forward, yes, and trying to become better? Why this betterment at all? Because of the sacrifice. Yeah. So we can give many names to the sacrifice: betterment, mutation, transformation, yeah, constant change.
So if someone isn't outwardly or actively seeking to change, are they still in some way a part of the development?
Well, they may think that they want to preserve whatever they already gained, yeah, and keep it, as it were. Let us keep it what we got. And the moment, Mother says, the moment we think that we achieved it, we want to retire and to enjoy the spoils of our fight and conquest, the moment we think like this, we start dying actively. And so we have no choice. Yeah, we have to move forward only. So that's why Veda calls human beings as ever-advancing pilgrim. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful kind of vision in a way. And we know it. Somewhere deeply we know it. Yeah, the moment I want to kind of relax and, enjoy, the moment I feel like I'm wasting my time, wait a minute, I'm wasting my time. Something in me knows it. Maybe not actively. Some part of my vital being wants to, to be stupid, to relax, to fall back, to be natural, so to say, to be normal again. But that normal, natural, the moment you step into it, you feel like, oh, ouch, you made a mistake. Because it doesn't lead you to the delight, it doesn't give you, and then we try to justify it with words, yeah? It was so nice to do that, to eat, to have beer and this and that. How many times you can have that beer or that thing? And we kind of try to refresh it as if there was some element of surprise. There was no element of surprise whatsoever. But you make it, yeah. We kind of bring it from elsewhere and try to make it look like as if it's a new element. There is always new element in a way. Because our consciousness cannot stay in the same state. And in that sense, we are kind of trying to convince ourselves that not moving anywhere, but changing during the day, kind of composing all our events in such a way that they would be not boring for us, that would give us a sense of meaningful living. And I think this is quite a dangerous way of living, because it takes away from us the very spirit we are meant to be. So you're kind of putting it into the perspective of non-developmental perspective, of keeping. surviving, or whatever you call it. There are so many terms for this: surviving, or sustainability, sustaining. These are wrong terms, because sustaining what? We have to grow. We don't want to be what we were yesterday. I don't want to be the same being. I want to be a new being. So this is the idea of the sacrifice, of a constant growth and moving forward, always forward. These beautiful prefixes, what they put here, pra, twice, pra yajñam pranitana, feel our transformation forward. Yeah? Feel it forward. Don't feel it backward. Don't feel it inward. Whatever. Feel it forward. We have to move ahead. That's why Mother started to speak about only future. She says that future is... We have to put all our being into the future. We live for the future. We don't live for the today or for the past. We don't have to fulfill the presence, and because there is a philosophy of the present moment, of the present time. It is only an entry, just to clean up the past. The present is the philosophy of the present is important to get rid of the past kind of claims of the past. But once you're free, what else? How else would you move? So once you're free from the past, you have to move forward. And this is the Veda. And then there is Ila Sarasvati Mahiti Sro Devich Mayo Bhuvach Barhich Sidanto Asredhach. She of the vision of knowledge, Ila, of revelation, she of its flowing inspiration, Sarasvati, she of its vastness, Mahi, three goddesses, Tisro Devi, who give birth to the bliss, Mayo Bhuvach, they who stumble not, Asredhach, may they take their seat at the altar strewn of the sacrifice. Barhich Sidanto, may they sit on the barhis. Barhis is the kusha grass, the grass which they put for the gods around the fire. Sacred grass. And on which usually ancient yogis were making their yogic sacrifice, these exercises. Meditation, pranayama. So the kusha grass is something which is separating us or helping us not to connect to the lower spirits. We have similar tradition in the churches with this, what do we call it, that special smell, or this incense sticks. They are burning special grass to remove the influence of the evil spirits. So barhis is that grass, but it is from root brich, to expand, to grow. And I think symbolically it has a meaning of cleansing or preparing the space for the higher powers within ourselves. So to prepare when you invite the Godheads or the higher powers of consciousness to be a part of your being, you have to vacate something in you. You have to empty yourself to prepare the space around the fire, around your inner being, and invite them to take place there around this inner flame, and to partake of this change, because they are needed powers for this change. We need them to grow in consciousness. So they are effectuating that change of our being here. So we invite them to sit around our flame, our divine will flame within the heart, which they take place, and effectuate that change. These are the gods. And here there are three currents, three rivers, three streams. Ila, Saraswati, Mahi. By the way, I already mentioned this, that Aurobindo yoga, Vedic yoga, started with the vision of these three, Ila, Saraswati, Mahi. He saw them in subtle world written as if. And he was wondering, what is this all about? And then he discovered that this is from the Rig Veda. And it actually describes his experience. What are these? This is the force of revelation, of inspiration, and of vastness. These three powers which are coming, these are supramental powers. Seeing vision is the self power, power of the self. Hearing, comprehension, understanding is the power of the dynamic truth, of one in many and many in one, and the vastness is the manifestation or the touch. So we can see seeing, hearing, and touch, or seeing, hearing, and intuition. So touch is embodying both seeing and hearing. It's quite interesting. Of apprehensive and comprehensive cognition come together. So when we see the being, so to say, we have the touch with the being, as it were, and we feel that touch as something, as cognizable. Yeah? So touch has two elements in it. Yeah? Is that you recognize that there's something else, and at the same time, you cognize what it is. So that is comprehension. Apprehension is recognizing that it is something else, and what it is comprehension. So all these three rivers creating bliss, mayas, they come and they should come and sit around our fire, our flame, for this transformation. Aurobindo speaks about these rivers so beautifully. There are quotations here. And then number 9. I think we are coming to the end. 10. We have 10. Okay, number 9. Maybe we will finish today the whole hymn. Shivach tvashtar iha gahi. Vibhuh posha utatmana yajne na ud ava. So, such a direct diction. Of fashioner of things, tvashtar. Beneficent hither, come to us, pervader of all in thy being, in thy nourishing, of all with myself, also with thyself, in sacrifice after sacrifice, foster our ascension. This is something mysterious about Tvashtri. Tvashtri is literally a carpenter. We spoke about carpenter. You haven't, no. Tvashtri is a carpenter, the one who takes the wood of creation, the matter, the material formation, and makes out of it a ladle, a spoon which can contain the delight. So he creates the first container of the delight. It's our physical body. He is the creator of the physicality which can contain the spirit. It seems that it was a big achievement, to create a body which could contain the spirit, because there is matter which does not really embody directly the spirit. So to say, not animated matter, like stones, I don't know, metals, they are not living matter. There is some spirit in them, but very remote. very far away, not living, not being born. You see, we are, as greenery and human beings, we are born. Greenery, they are born from the seed. The tree grows from the seed, from the fruit, gives fruits. It lives, it grows, it lives and dies. Yeah? It has a lifespan. It has a progeny. Amazing. Matter has a progeny, so it creates itself in a way. So this is soma built in the matter. So that container had to be created, that greenery was created once, long ago, by Tvashtar. Tvashtar is that carpenter who created the first container of the delight. And the delight soma, juice in the greenery, yeah? That sap of life, which we need as food because we live by that only. There would be no life in anybody if there would be no greenery. You know? So everything is connected, mysteriously connected. So he is called here as the beneficent Shivach Tvashtar. Yeah, Shiva is another word for or name for Rudra, but here it is Tvashtar. Come here to us, Iha Agahi, Vibhu, the one who pervades all, Posha, the nourisher, Utatmana, nourisher by oneself. He is Yajne, in every of our transformations or sacrifice. Nach, Ud, Ava. Foster our ascension. Ud, Nach, Ud, Ava. Our growth up. Upward growth in every hour, transformation. Fill us or nourish us with yourself. Tmana, interestingly. Yeah, so by yourself, fulfill us, nourish us for our growth upward, for our increase. Aurobindo gives a psychological interpretation here. So traditionally, Tvashta Vishwakarma is artificer of the gods, the fabricator of the original sacrificial ladle. Tvashta vai Pashunam Mithunanam Rukakrit. It is Shrutehe, it is from Taittiriya Samhita. Tvashta forms in animals in pairs. He is also an Aditya. He is one of the Adityas. He is also an Agni. So Tvashta is the most ancient Aditya who is very archaic even for the Rig Veda. So kind of some of the primary gods who manifested first material form. The creator of the gods. Gods are working through him. He manifests all the forms. And has something to do with procreation. Because to manifest the form, to kind of charge the form with the spirit, immediately this procreation comes into picture. The seed has to be cast into the soil. There must be interaction of something with something, seed with the womb, so there has to be the conception. So this conception is assigned to him for some reason. That's how the spirit could kind of allocate itself in matter. Through the seed, through the conception, through he and she, spirit and matter, Purusha and Prakriti, all these later developments of the idea would come into picture. So Sri Aurobindo gives a psychological interpretation of Tvashtar and Ribhus. We have to know about Ribhus. Later we will speak about them, maybe even take some hymns to Ribhus, who perfected and developed his work. Ribhus, Tvashtar was first, and then there were three brothers, Ribhus, who became like gods, who perfected his work and developed it even further. But he is kind of in opposition to Ribhus. He is very jealous of them, or not jealous, but let me read what Sri Aurobindo says. For Tvashri, the framer of things, has given man originally only a single bowl, that ladle, the physical consciousness, the physical body in which to offer the delight of the existence to the gods. The Ribhus powers of luminous knowledge take it as renewed and perfected by Tvashri later workings, and build up in him from the material of the four planes three other bodies: vital, mental, and causal or ideal body. So within this framework of the physical body, they built the vital body, the mental body, and finally the supramental body or causal body. So all these bodies were built by Ribhu's three brothers on the ground of Tvashtri's creation. That's why he feels he's a rivalry. He feels like they snatched his major kind of work, but he wanted to continue. So they took it and developed it faster than he could. And he feels like it was taken away from him. And in this sense, it is very similar to what Shiva represents in Puranas. Most probably that's why they call him Shiva, Shiva Tvashta. Because Shiva was the first creator in Puranas who contemplated deeply. He put Shiva Lingam deeply into the earth and contemplated how to make this creation. But when he opened his eyes, Brahman already popped in and created the universe. So the universe was created, and he made only the foundation of it, and he became very he rejected the whole creation and went into Himalayas and became ascetic. He didn't want to deal with this creation anymore, so to say. He disappeared in a way from and very similar to Tvashtar, to this archaic god, who was not given the right to finish his creation. Interesting, just parallel. So Sri Aurobindo describes his creation in this way. I took also some portion from Savitri, which is interestingly corresponding to this idea: original and supernal immanence, of which all nature's process is the art. He is artificer of the gods. He creates the first art. Artificial creation, in a way, by the spirit. And that is art. When the spirit enters matter, that creates the art of nature. The cosmic worker, Vishvakarman, his name is Vishvakarman, the creator of cosmos. The cosmic worker set his secret hand to turn this frail mud engine to heaven use. Exactly what we are talking about. A presence wrought behind the ambiguous screen. It beat his soil to bear a titan's weight, refining half-hued blocks of natural strength, it builds his soul into a statued god. The craftsman of the magic stuff of self, who labors at his high and difficult plan in the wide workshop of the wonderful world, modeled in inward time his rhythmic parts. Aurobindo is so kind of elaborating all the bits and pieces of the Rig Veda. Actually, Aurobindo adopted this language. We spoke about this in his Savitri. So this is the craftsman of the magic stuff of self. It is him. He is the craftsman, the cosmic worker, Vishvakarman. He turns this frail mud engine to heaven use. He makes it the carrier of the delight, the ladle of the soma, the ambrosia, the immortality. Immortality in a sense that it can procreate, it can continue its living through its progeny. In the wide, who labors at his high and difficult plan in the wide workshop of the wonderful world. So this wonderful world is a wide workshop for you. So we are part of this workshop of the divine. Great, we can stop here. I will finish next time one more verse and we will finish and take another hymn. Yeah, we are talking some kind of things which are belonging to the archaic and times of our development and very archetypal to our thinking. I don't know who would be interested in this type of thinking nowadays, looking at the world. busy. But nevertheless, there are few who are still kind of fascinated with this kind of creation. It's our literature, our past, our spiritual kind of inherited treasures. We have to revive them again and again, and all those spirits over thousands of years will be revived in us. They feel that we are pulling those strings, and they feel that they have to be activated in us, in our consciousness, so we become alive. They give us support. This is what we're doing, I think. Pulling the strings, attached to them. Wake up, we are still here. Great, okay, I will stop here and close with the mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
Thank you.
See you. Bye.